what really happens to the human body when a fishing job turns into a life-threatening disaster. On the open ocean, one wrong move can mean crushed bones, deep cuts, hypothermia, or even death. In this video, a doctor breaks down the shocking injuries seen in Deadliest Catch and explains what these injuries actually do to the human body. From broken ribs and severe head trauma to dangerous hypothermia and life-threatening infections, you'll discover the real medical truth behind these brutal accidents. Some of these injuries look survivable on screen, but in real life, they can turn deadly within minutes. Stay with us as we reveal how the body reacts, how doctors treat these emergencies, and why the ocean is one of the most dangerous workplaces in the world. Working on a commercial fishing boat in the icy waters of the Bering Sea is often considered one of the most dangerous jobs on Earth. The extreme weather, massive waves, heavy machinery, and long exhausting shifts create a perfect storm for serious injuries. In this video, we take a deep medical dive into some of the most shocking injuries seen in the famous fishing reality series Deadliest Catch, and a doctor explains exactly what happens to the human body during these terrifying accidents. Many people watch these intense moments on television without realizing just how dangerous these injuries truly are. A rope snapping under pressure can break bones instantly. A heavy crab pot weighing hundreds of pounds can crush limbs or cause internal bleeding. Slipping on a wet deck can lead to head trauma that may cause brain swelling or even permanent brain damage. What looks like a painful accident on screen could actually be a life-threatening emergency that requires immediate medical attention. One of the most common dangers fishermen face is blunt force trauma. When a person is struck by heavy equipment or thrown against the hard metal surfaces of the boat during rough seas, the body can suffer serious damage. Broken ribs can puncture lungs, leading to a condition known as pneumothorax, where air leaks into the chest cavity and makes breathing extremely difficult. Internal bleeding can occur without visible signs, making these injuries even more dangerous. Another major risk is severe lacerations and deep cuts. Fishing gear, sharp metal edges, and powerful machinery can cause deep wounds that damage muscles, nerves, and blood vessels. Without proper treatment, these injuries can lead to massive blood loss or infections. In remote ocean locations, medical help may be hours or even days away, making quick first aid absolutely critical. Hypothermia is another silent killer that fishermen constantly battle. The icy waters of the Bering Sea can drop a person's body temperature dangerously fast. When the body becomes too cold, the heart rhythm can become unstable, the brain slows down, and vital organs begin to fail. If someone falls overboard or remains soaked in freezing temperatures for too long, hypothermia can become fatal. Head injuries are also extremely dangerous in this environment. A sudden fall or impact can cause concussions or traumatic brain injuries. These injuries may not always show immediate symptoms, but they can lead to dizziness, confusion, memory loss, and in severe cases, bleeding in the brain. Without proper medical evaluation, a person might continue working while their condition becomes worse. Another frightening injury that can occur is limb entrapment. Fishing lines and hydraulic equipment can trap arms or legs with tremendous force. When a limb becomes trapped, it can lead to crushed bones, nerve damage, and restricted blood flow. In extreme situations, this can even result in permanent disability. What makes these injuries even more dangerous is the remote environment where they happen. Unlike hospitals on land, fishing boats have limited medical supplies and no immediate access to emergency care. Crew members often have to stabilize injuries themselves until rescue teams or helicopters arrive. Doctors who analyze these injuries emphasize the importance of quick action, controlling bleeding, stabilizing broken bones, keeping injured crew members warm, and monitoring breathing are critical steps that can save lives. Proper training in emergency medical response can make the difference between survival and tragedy on the open ocean. This video explores the medical science behind these injuries and helps viewers understand the real risks that fishermen face every day. It also highlights how resilient the human body can be when treated quickly and correctly. While these accidents are dramatic on television, they represent real dangers that workers in this industry confront regularly. By understanding how these injuries affect the body, we can better appreciate the bravery and toughness of the people who risk their lives to work in one of the most extreme environments on Earth. Working on a commercial fishing vessel in the freezing and unpredictable waters of the open ocean is widely known as one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. Every year, fishermen face life-threatening situations while working long hours in harsh weather conditions, surrounded by heavy equipment and powerful machinery. In this video, we take a deep medical look at some of the shocking injuries seen in Deadliest Catch and explain what truly happens inside the human body when these accidents occur. Many viewers watch these dramatic moments on television and see fishermen quickly get back to work after painful accidents. However, the reality is that many of these injuries can be extremely serious and even life-threatening. When a doctor analyzes these incidents, it becomes clear that the human body can suffer severe damage in ways that are not always visible at first. One of the most common injuries in commercial fishing is blunt force trauma. This happens when a person is hit by heavy objects or thrown against hard surfaces during rough waves. Crab pots used in deep-sea fishing can weigh several hundred pounds. If one of these pots swings or falls onto a crew member, the impact can easily break bones, crush muscles, or cause internal bleeding. The rib cage is especially vulnerable during these types of accidents. When ribs break, they can puncture nearby organs such as the lungs. This can lead to a dangerous medical condition where air leaks into the chest cavity and makes it difficult for a person to breathe normally. Internal bleeding is another major concern in these situations. Unlike cuts or wounds that are visible on the outside, internal bleeding can occur silently inside the body. A strong impact to the abdomen can damage organs such as the liver or spleen. These organs contain large amounts of blood, and if they become injured, severe blood loss can occur within minutes. Without immediate medical care, this type of injury can become fatal. Deep cuts and lacerations are also extremely common on fishing vessels. The deck of a commercial fishing boat is filled with sharp hooks, metal surfaces, and powerful equipment. When a fisherman slips or loses control of a tool, the result can be a deep wound that damages skin, muscles, and sometimes even nerves. These injuries are particularly dangerous because they can lead to heavy bleeding. If a major blood vessel is cut, the body can lose a dangerous amount of blood in a short period of time. In addition to blood loss, infections are a serious risk when cuts occur in ocean environments. Seawater contains many types of bacteria that can enter the body through open wounds. If the wound is not cleaned properly, bacteria can spread through the bloodstream and cause severe infections. In some cases, untreated infections can damage tissues or even lead to life-threatening conditions. Another serious danger faced by fishermen is head trauma. The deck of a fishing boat becomes extremely slippery due to water, ice, and fish remains. When the boat rocks violently in rough seas, it is easy for someone to lose balance and fall. A hard fall can cause a concussion or a more serious traumatic brain injury. The brain is one of the most sensitive organs in the human body, and even a small impact can disrupt its normal function. A concussion occurs when the brain moves rapidly inside the skull after a sudden impact. This can lead to symptoms such as confusion, dizziness, headaches, and memory problems. In more severe cases, a person may experience bleeding inside the brain. This condition is extremely dangerous because pressure can build inside the skull and damage brain tissue. Without proper medical attention, these injuries can lead to permanent brain damage. Hypothermia is another life-threatening risk in the freezing waters where many fishing crews work. When the human body is exposed to extremely cold temperatures, it begins to lose heat faster than it can produce it. As body temperature drops, vital organs begin to slow down. Early signs of hypothermia include shivering, fatigue, and difficulty concentrating. As the condition becomes more severe, the body may stop shivering, and the person may become confused or lose consciousness. Falling overboard in icy waters is one of the most dangerous scenarios a fisherman can face. Cold water can quickly drain the body's heat and cause the muscles to become weak. Within minutes, a person may lose the ability to swim or stay afloat. If rescue does not happen quickly, hypothermia can lead to heart failure or death. Another frightening injury that can occur on fishing boats is limb entrapment. Fishing lines and hydraulic systems operate under extremely high tension. If a person's arm or leg becomes caught in a rope or piece of machinery, the force can pull the limb with incredible strength. This can cause severe fractures, crushed bones, and damage to nerves and blood vessels. In some cases, the damage may be so severe that the limb cannot be saved. Crush injuries are particularly dangerous because they can also lead to a condition known as compartment syndrome. This occurs when swelling inside muscles increases pressure to dangerous levels, preventing blood from flowing properly. Without immediate treatment, tissues may begin to die due to lack of oxygen. Fatigue also plays a major role in many fishing accidents. Crew members often work extremely long shifts that can last many hours without proper rest. Exhaustion slows down reaction time and reduces awareness, making accidents more likely to occur. When the body is tired, coordination decreases and even simple tasks can become dangerous in a high-risk environment. What makes these injuries even more challenging is the remote location where they occur. Fishing boats often operate far away from hospitals or emergency medical facilities. This means that crew members must rely on basic medical supplies and their own knowledge of first aid. In serious situations, helicopters may be required to evacuate injured workers, but bad weather can delay rescue operations. Because of these risks, safety training is extremely important in the fishing industry. Crew members are taught how to respond to emergencies such as severe bleeding, broken bones, and hypothermia. Quick action can often mean the difference between life and death. Stopping bleeding, stabilizing injured limbs, and keeping the body warm are critical steps in protecting someone who has been seriously hurt. Doctors who analyze injuries from dangerous jobs like commercial fishing often emphasize how resilient the human body can be. With proper care and quick treatment, many people are able to recover from injuries that might otherwise be fatal. However, these accidents also remind us how fragile the body can be when exposed to extreme environments. The ocean is powerful, unpredictable, and unforgiving. The men and women who work in this industry face risks every day that most people will never experience. Understanding the medical reality behind these injuries helps us appreciate the courage, strength, and determination required to perform one of the toughest jobs on Earth. These stories also serve as a reminder of how important safety awareness and medical knowledge can be. By learning how the body reacts to trauma, cold exposure, and physical stress, we can better understand how to protect ourselves and others in dangerous situations. The human body is incredibly complex, and when it is pushed to its limits, the results can be dramatic. Whether it is surviving a crushing injury, recovering from hypothermia, or overcoming severe trauma, the body has an amazing ability to fight for survival. At the same time, these events highlight the importance of medical care, preparation, and quick response in life-threatening environments. Watching these injuries through a medical perspective gives us a deeper understanding of the risks fishermen face every day. It also shows how critical teamwork, training, and awareness are when working in one of the harshest environments on the planet. Life on a commercial fishing vessel is far more dangerous than most people realize. Far away from land, surrounded by freezing water, powerful waves, heavy equipment, and constant pressure to work quickly, fishermen operate in one of the most extreme work environments on Earth. Every movement on the deck must be precise, and even a small mistake can turn into a life-threatening accident. In this video, we take a detailed medical look at some of the serious injuries seen in Deadliest Catch and explain what truly happens inside the human body when these accidents occur. Many viewers watch these intense moments and see fishermen get injured and then quickly stand back up to continue working. While this may look dramatic and inspiring, the medical reality can be much more serious. The human body is strong, but it is also fragile when exposed to sudden trauma, freezing temperatures, and extreme physical stress. When doctors analyze these injuries, they often find that the damage can be far worse than it appears on the surface. One of the most common dangers on fishing vessels is blunt force trauma. This type of injury happens when a person is struck by a heavy object or thrown violently against a hard surface. The deck of a fishing boat is full of heavy crab pots, metal rails, winches, and other large pieces of equipment. During rough weather, these objects can swing or slide with tremendous force. If a fisherman is hit by one of these objects, the impact can easily break bones or damage internal organs. Crab pots used in deep-sea fishing can weigh several hundred pounds. If one of these pots lands on a person's leg or chest, the body may experience a crush injury, bones can fracture under the weight, muscles can tear, and blood vessels may become damaged. When blood vessels are injured, internal bleeding can begin almost immediately. This type of bleeding is extremely dangerous because it cannot always be seen from the outside. Internal bleeding is one of the most serious medical emergencies that can happen during a fishing accident. When organs such as the liver or spleen are damaged, blood can quickly fill the abdominal cavity. A person may initially feel pain and dizziness, but the condition can rapidly worsen as blood pressure drops. Without quick treatment, the body may go into shock, which can be fatal if not treated immediately. Broken ribs are another injury that doctors often see in situations involving blunt force trauma. The rib cage protects vital organs such as the lungs and heart. When ribs break, the sharp edges of the bone can puncture the lungs. This can lead to a condition where air escapes into the chest cavity and prevents the lungs from expanding normally. When this happens, breathing becomes extremely difficult and the body struggles to get enough oxygen. In addition to broken bones, deep cuts and lacerations are very common on fishing vessels. The deck is filled with sharp hooks, knives, metal surfaces, and machinery that can easily cause severe wounds. When a fisherman slips or loses control of equipment, the result can be a deep cut that damages the skin, muscles, and sometimes even nerves. Severe cuts can lead to heavy bleeding. If a major artery is damaged, the body can lose a large amount of blood in a very short time. Blood is responsible for carrying oxygen to every part of the body, and losing too much of it can cause organs to fail. Quick action to control bleeding is extremely important in these situations. Applying pressure to the wound and stopping blood flow can save a life. Another major risk in the fishing environment is infection. Ocean water contains many types of bacteria and microorganisms. When an open wound comes into contact with seawater, bacteria can enter the body. If the wound is not cleaned properly, the infection can spread into deeper tissues. In severe cases, bacteria can enter the bloodstream and cause a life-threatening condition known as sepsis. Head injuries are also a major concern on fishing boats. The deck often becomes slippery due to water, ice, and fish remains. When the boat rocks violently in rough seas, it is easy for someone to lose balance and fall. If a person's head strikes a hard surface, the brain can experience a sudden impact inside the skull. A concussion is one of the most common types of brain injuries. It occurs when the brain moves rapidly inside the skull after a sudden hit or fall. Symptoms can include dizziness, headaches, confusion, and difficulty concentrating. In more severe cases, bleeding inside the brain can occur. This creates pressure that can damage brain tissue and interfere with normal brain function. Brain injuries are especially dangerous because symptoms may not appear immediately. A person might feel slightly dizzy or confused but continue working. Hours later, their condition could suddenly become much worse. This is why doctors always emphasize the importance of medical evaluation after any head injury. Another extremely dangerous condition that fishermen must face is hypothermia. The waters where many fishing boats operate are extremely cold. When the human body is exposed to cold temperatures for too long, it begins to lose heat faster than it can produce it. As body temperature drops, the brain and vital organs start to slow down. Early signs of hypothermia include shivering, fatigue, and difficulty concentrating. As the condition becomes more severe, the body may stop shivering and the person may begin to feel confused or disoriented. In extreme cases, the heart rhythm becomes unstable and the person may lose consciousness. Falling overboard is one of the most frightening scenarios for any fisherman. Cold water can drain body heat at an alarming rate. Within minutes, muscles become weak and coordination is lost. A person may lose the ability to swim or stay afloat. If rescue does not happen quickly, hypothermia can lead to cardiac arrest. Another type of injury that can occur on fishing boats is limb entrapment. Fishing lines and hydraulic systems operate under extremely high tension. If a person's hand or arm becomes caught in a rope or machine, the force can pull the limb violently. This can cause severe fractures, crushed bones, and serious nerve damage. Crush injuries can also lead to a dangerous condition where swelling inside muscles increases pressure within the limb. This pressure can restrict blood flow and prevent oxygen from reaching tissues. Without treatment, muscle and nerve tissue can begin to die. Fatigue is another major factor that contributes to accidents at sea. Fishing crews often work very long shifts that may last many hours with little sleep. When the body is exhausted, reaction time slows down and concentration becomes weaker. Simple tasks become more dangerous when a person is physically and mentally tired. The remote location of fishing vessels makes injuries even more difficult to treat. Many boats operate far from land and medical facilities. If a serious injury occurs, crew members must rely on first aid and basic medical supply. In some situations, helicopters are needed to transport injured fishermen to hospitals, but bad weather can delay rescue efforts. Because of these risks, safety training is extremely important for fishing crews. Workers are trained to respond to emergencies such as severe bleeding, broken bones, hypothermia, and head injuries. Quick action can often mean the difference between survival and tragedy. Doctors who study injuries in extreme environments often emphasize how resilient the human body can be. With the right treatment and quick medical care, many people are able to recover from injuries that might otherwise be fatal. At the same time, these accidents remind us how vulnerable the body becomes when exposed to powerful forces and harsh conditions. The ocean is unpredictable and unforgiving. Waves, wind, freezing temperatures, and heavy equipment create a dangerous combination that fishermen must face every day. Despite these risks, thousands of people continue to work in this industry, showing incredible courage and determination. Understanding the medical reality behind these injuries helps us appreciate the challenges that fishermen experience. It also shows how important preparation, teamwork, and safety awareness are when working in one of the most dangerous environments in the world. The human body has an incredible ability to fight for survival. Whether it is recovering from broken bones, surviving hypothermia, or healing from severe trauma, the body constantly works to repair itself. However, these stories also remind us that proper medical care and quick response are essential when accidents happen. By looking at these injuries from a medical perspective, we gain a deeper understanding of how the body reacts to trauma, cold exposure, and physical stress. These insights not only make the stories more fascinating, but also help us learn valuable lessons about safety and survival in extreme conditions. The fishermen who face these dangers every day demonstrate remarkable strength and resilience. Their experiences highlight the importance of respecting the power of the ocean and the limits of the human body. Through medical analysis and awareness, we can better understand the risks involved and the incredible effort required to survive in one of the harshest workplaces on Earth. If you enjoy medical breakdowns of shocking injuries from movies, TV shows, and real-life survival stories, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Which injury shocked you the most? Do you think you could survive working in one of the most dangerous jobs in the world? Share your thoughts in the comments below!